We want to demonstrate proper lab filling of the Airless container. This is the 2 by 20 milliliter Airless. And one of the pieces of equipment you'll need is a large syringe with an extended dip tube or hose on the end. The important first step with the syringe is to make sure that it's fully depressed so that all the air in the syringe is evacuated. One of the key things about filling the 2 by 20 or any of the Airless containers is to avoid as much as possible having any air bubbles within the system. So the next step is to plunge the syringe into the bulk and start drawing the bulk. But about a third of the way through, you want to push the syringe down to try to evacuate any of the air that was in the initial pull. Resume with the syringe, pulling bulk into the container, into the syringe. You can mark the syringe to get the volume correct. Take a look at this point to make sure that you haven't trapped a lot of air bubbles and that your bulk is relatively consistent. Then carefully insert the tube. Notice that there's a seal around the top of the Airless container. Try not to damage it. And an important aspect is to fill from bottom up. So you can see the dip tube is depressed. We're staying below the surface of the bulk and gradually extracting the syringe dip tube assembly as we depress and fill the container. Proper fill height for the 20 milliliter is right at what we call the shoulder of the bottle. At that point, you should be able to remove the syringe. If it's not completely full, you can top it off. Again, avoiding as much air, tamping down if necessary to make a good, consistent fill. Having achieved that, the dispenser can be oriented. Make sure that it's oriented to match your bulk strategy, which has to do with which side is light or dark. And set the dispenser in place, but be sure that you put the dispenser itself and assembly on a flat surface, and only at that point fully seat the head. You should hear an audible snap when you do, and you now have a bubble-free, almost pre-primed or primed system ready to dispense.